The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are live outside PNC Arena getting ready for Game 2 of the first round NHL playoff series between the Canes and the New York Islanders. And I encourage all of you to make it out here. And if you do, go ahead and check out our booth here. We have a tent, and there's a QR code to scan. If you win, you can you get yourself an autographed Carolina Hurricanes jersey with a whole host of autographs, current players, former players. The coach, Rod Brindamore, signed on there. So make your way down here and scan and get registered.
Some of your favorite Canes.
Right now, it's football at 4 time.
Yep.
We are just 3 shows away from draft day.
Wild.
We have today's show, Tuesday show, Wednesday show. Draft is on Thursday. So
this is a great week for being a sports fan.
Unbelievable
North
week.
Carolina.
So starting 10 days out from the draft, we've been breaking down one position at a time for the Panthers, what they've done this offseason, what they need to do, and what they might do in the draft. Today's is a premier position.
All right.
Quarterback.
Yep, there we go.
And I'll say what they're going to do in the draft very simply. Hopefully nothing.
Probably nothing.
Probably nothing. However, the entire draft is kind of about the quarterback, right? It's they may not be drafting a quarterback, but it's all about what they can do for the quarterback, right? It's like, what can Brown do for you?
Yeah.
What can Morgan do for Bryce? That's what I'm looking at. You won't use a draft pick on taking a quarterback, but I have the list of, they have 7 picks here, I have them in front of me. 4 or 5 of these should be made with the quarterback in mind. And what I mean by that is they have a second rounder, their own second rounder, New York's the Giants' second rounder. They have their own third, their own fourth, New York's 5th, Tennessee's 5th, and Pittsburgh's 7th. Those are the picks that they have. I'd say at minimum 4 of them go to somebody that either helps Bryce Young when he has protection, meaning somebody that can get open, a wide receiver, a tight end, a running back out of the backfield, or somebody that can give him protection, meaning an offensive lineman or a blocking tight end. If you look at those 2 things, that's where the draft has to be. And here's why. I was listening to a podcast with Todd McShay.
Yeah.
You all know Todd McShay. He was on ESPN for years and years doing draft prep. And he completely inadvertently, like a ricochet shot, right at Carolina.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about Caleb Williams, and he's talking about how good the Bears have done at surrounding Caleb Williams with talent, right? He's going like, you look at most number 1 picks, they don't come into the league having Keenan Allen on one side and DJ Moore on the other side, and they have the 9th overall pick to probably bring in an offensive tackle to help him, and he's going to have a good running back, and he's going to have on and on and on. He goes, you look at somebody like Bryce Young. Bryce Young had absolutely nothing when he came into the league. And so the conversation wasn't even about the Panthers. It was just about they've done nothing to help Bryce Young, just to highlight what another team is doing for their number 1 overall pick. He may have even called it the worst situation a first round or a first overall pick quarterback had gone into. And he was talking about Bryce Young.
It's pretty awful.
So you look at that, you think, all right, that's a problem. First step in having a problem first step in solving a problem is acknowledging you have a problem. That's a problem. The next step is how can you solve it? You have 7 picks, assuming you don't want to completely ignore defense. 4 or 5 of them, I believe, have to be on the offensive side of the ball, and they have to be in positions that directly help Bryce Young. If you're going to bring in a running back, pass-catching running back. Chuba Hubbard can handle between the tackles. So, like, it has to be a late-round pass-catching running back. If you're going to bring in a tight end, either bring in essentially, the modern wide receiver that happens to play tight end. Yeah. The oversized
wide receiver.
The Evan Engram, the Dalton Kincaid, the Travis Kelce. They're blocking in spirit only, if not in actual technique. Or bring in a third tackle that plays tight end and say, when he's on the field, Bryce, you're going to have less guys in the route, but you're going to have more time to throw it. All of it has to be about setting Bryce up so you're no longer the example of what not to do with a number 1 overall quarterback, right? You bring in Dave Canales. It's a good start. He's somebody that has a history, Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, of helping to kind of reclaim the talent that highly drafted quarterbacks have. But You need the Jimmies and Joes as much as you need the X's and O's. That's what the draft is about.
And so far this offseason, they've done a pretty good job of it, I would say, overall.
Mhm.
Like you signed
Good
2
start.
offensive linemen, interior offensive linemen to help protect in the middle.
$150 million over 4 or 5 years.
It's a lot of cash.
Combine the two.
And you made the trade for Deontay Johnson. Okay, so you've
Great
upgraded
trade.
your offensive line. You've already made one upgrade at wide receiver. I still think they're probably going to draft one of those 2 second-round picks for sure. But it's also a big time on Bryce. Like, okay, we've improved around you. You need to improve too.
No more just flashes. Full games.
Yeah, exactly. Like full games consistently. Like consistently leading this team up and down the field. Last year, awful year for a multitude of reasons. Not all on him, but he's also not of,
he's not completely absolved. Yep.
Yeah, he's not completely absolved either. So this is to me, it's like a prove it year for him too. Show that, okay, this team's investing in what's around you. Show that you can handle it and that you can do it.
And I'll even throw this out there. They've the reason why I'm so adamant that they draft is because they have cleared the space for it, right? When you move on from DJ Chark, when you cut Hayden Hurst and you're just essentially opening a roster spot, you're not getting any savings there. When you do those types of things, what you're saying is we're going to replace it with somebody better, right? And that's where the draft comes in. We've talked about the tight ends that we expect to be picked or where kind of the range they can pick. We've talked about the wide receivers in previous episodes of this segment here. All I know is do not waste a draft pick unless it's a 7th rounder on somebody you love on a quarterback, because you have Andy Dalton, you have Bryce Young, you should be good to go. But think of
there's
Bryson.
some veteran journeyman that's out there. To me, you shouldn't draft a QB. It's a waste.
But you should be thinking about quarterback every step of the way. You should be thinking about the quarterback. I talk a lot about how quarterbacks need different skill sets, right? If you look at Aaron Rodgers, he throws the best back shoulder to a covered receiver that we've ever seen. Some quarterbacks aren't great with that timing. Devontae Adams works better with Aaron Rodgers. Garrett Wilson works better with Aaron Rodgers than he would with other quarterbacks. Find out what it is that Bryce Young does really well, then go get the receivers that do that. And as I've said, looking back at his time at Alabama, he likes guys that get separation downfield. He likes throwing the deep ball. He likes the way Jamison Williams played at Alabama. So, right, and this is kind of the obvious example. Xavier Worthy from Texas. He runs the world's fastest 40-yard dash. Not the world's fastest, the combine's fastest 40-yard dash. That might be someone that fits if you can make a play for him. He probably won't be there, but if he is, I think you pounce on that.
I know a lot of people are loving on Xavier Legette from South Carolina.
Yards after the catch guy.
Yes.
And
with big body, speed as well, because he ran like a 4.39, I think it was. So he was 6'1", 210.
He's getting compared physically to A.J. Brown, which is
okay.
Is like when
right.
somebody's describing like how somebody looks, like, oh, the guy he kind of looks like Brad Pitt. It's like, but peak Brad Pitt. It's like, oh,
still good looking guy though.
It's like okay, you're gonna compare me physically to A.J. Brown? Appreciate you.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown looks like he's out of shape only when standing next to DK Metcalf. They played in college together.
Yeah,
There's legendary pictures. Like 12 abs between the two of them, or each of them.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at here is you're going to have options there. Pick the ones that fit Bryce Young, right? Even if you're not drafting a quarterback, you want to be thinking about quarterback with most of your draft picks. And that's the Panthers challenge, I guess, for this year's draft.